morning, West Coast. Good afternoon, East Coast. Hello to everybody in between and outside. I can never do it. I can never get that right. I always trip over something. Always. Anyways, how's everybody doing? It's another Sunday. It's another live from me, the Kilter Crafter. Hope you're having a good day today. It's Sunday and it's a holiday weekend, so that's a good thing. Hope you're enjoying your holiday weekend and getting a day off from work tomorrow. If you do have to work tomorrow, I hope it is an easy and calm day for you. I'm very glad it's a 3-day weekend for me. So anyways, we got Bettina, Bettina's here, Constance here, Judy's here, Paula, Linda, Cindy, Katie, Joan, Judy, Diane, Sylvia, Katrina, Sean is here. Hi, good day. Welcome everybody. Hope y'all are having a great day. We've got Tennessee represented. We got Massachusetts represented. We got Alaska represented. Hello, Alaska. Hope it's comfortable up there. It's definitely hot down here for sure. I'd rather have your temperatures at the moment. We got Nevada is here. Is it Nevada or Nevada? Nevada. I don't know. Anyways, hope everybody's having a good day. I'm Ian, the Off-Kilter Crafter. Yeah, we got stuff to talk about before we actually jump into the projects today. Project, singular, today, but I'm going to talk about more than one. Oh no. Well, I mean, good. Katrina says, feeling more normal since having COVID. Sorry that you had COVID, but glad that you're starting to feel better from it, for sure. Jane says, my sweet Ian, I wanted to watch this live so bad. I have a deadline to finish for a quilt for a local show and have limited time. Gotta sew on. Love from Jane. Thank you for stopping by and saying hello. And you can always catch me on the replay as well, so don't forget about that as well. Sylvia says 56 degrees outside. I will take that as opposed to my 93 with a high of 97. Although 93, it's weird because I stepped outside. So for weeks here in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, we've had like 105, 110, like stupidly hot temperatures. And then the other day it was like 95 degrees. And I was like, oh, this isn't so bad. I can do 95 degrees. So silly how it like, yeah, anyways, Patricia says, have a good day. I think she meant to say everyone at work, or having a good day even at work. Blech, can't read is what's going on. Jackie's here. Welcome, Jackie. Michelle is here from Central New York. Excellent. Welcome. Southeast Virginia here, says Sean. Okay, so let's talk about what's going on. We got a lot going on this month. And so I just want to give you some like points of interest that are going to be happening this month. Obviously, I'm working on the Halloween Boo Box projects, and I will continue working on those during this month because they are Halloween themed. And it's just that it's weird being a content creator sometimes because we have to be ahead of the season. So even though temperatures are still in the 90s, hundreds, I have to get into the Halloween spirit because we need to be a little ahead of the actual holiday. And usually by the time Halloween rolls around, we're already moved on to Thanksgiving or Christmas or Hanukkah or Kwanzaa or whatever. So it's a little weird. But we're going to be doing some Halloween projects for the next couple of weeks here on Sunday Lives. Hope you'll join me for those. On October 1st, I am going to be releasing a video. I'm going to be doing a sew along in November. So I put it out. I'm going to put it out at the beginning of November because I want y'all to be ready for November when I start doing this project. I'm going to be doing a sew along. And I hope you will join me. We're going to be working on, it always seems like you need that one last quilt for a gift. And I figured November would be a great time to put one last quilt together. So that way, hopefully by the time you get to December, you'll have enough time to quilt it and get it wrapped up and under the tree and all that. So let me know if you're in the chat, say, you know, hey, I'm interested in doing this. And if you're watching this on the replay, just let me know if you're interested in doing a sew along. I have a pattern picked out. I have fabric picked out. I have everything picked out. And starting on October 1st, I'll push out all those details for you. So if you're interested, Hopefully you are. We'll do a little sew along. It's really easy. I picked a project that you don't even have to line up seams like that. You don't have to worry about that. It's literally just sewing it together. So hopefully we'll have that going on in November and December. Linda says the quilt looks like candy corn. I know it does. That was the intention. It was supposed to look like candy corn. I love it. I love how this one came out. Mona says, love the quilt. I can't decide if they're mountains or candy corn. It's funny because the pattern is officially like called mountains. So it's supposed to be, I think, mountains, but it was a free pattern on the internet. And I kind of went with the candy corn theme. So Samantha says, I'm in. Cindy says, yay, sew along. Judy says, sew along would be awesome. Mona says, I'm up for a sew along if I can make it from my stash. I bet you could. I bet you could make it from your stash. So if you're looking for a way to bust some of your stash, this might be the way to do it as well. Sylvia, I like candy corn too. Mountains of candy corn. Good one, Judy. I like that as well. So that's what's coming up in October. Be on the lookout. October 1st. The sew along video, I'll tell you which pattern we're doing and the materials that you'll need for it, and then all the details. So be on the lookout for that, October 1st, so basically like a month from now. Yeah, so we'll have that going on. And I know I wish y'all could see the quilting. It's really, Yolanda, it's got spider webs in it. Oh, did Mom and Pop pop in? Oh, hey, Mom and Pop Quilt Shop. They are a channel member, so let's give them a round of applause for being a channel member here on my channel. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. And then let's see. Yeah, so I wish you could see the quilting on this. I would bring the camera up close, but it's a little hard to see. But there's like 3 ghosts that are quilted into it. There's spider webs. There's is there spiders? I think there's there's spiders as well. This is from my quilter, The Very Thoughtful Quilter. If you go on Instagram or Facebook, look up The Very Thoughtful Quilter. She's amazing. I love her to pieces. She has all of my pieces right now, all of my quilt tops right now that she's going to be working on. So, Katie is working on the Irish chain, a project without machine seams. Sounds perfect. Matching seams. Yeah, this one does not have matching seams. It's wonderful. So, is there a pattern for the quilt on the wall? Jack, yes, there is a pattern for this. After the live is over with, I will go find that pattern and I will pin it as the first comment under this video. So come back, about an hour after the live and it should be there. So be on the lookout for that. And if you're watching this on the replay, it should already be there. I'm getting excited too for Halloween, Yolanda. All right. Grandma Tina says, will this be something my 10-year-old granddaughter is able to do? If she can use a sewing machine and sharp objects, such as a rotary cutter, then yes, it will be something that she can do. Obviously, with help from you, more than likely. I find that that's the best projects is when you work on stuff together. So, yes, this should be a fairly easy project. It's nothing too complicated. You will need a 60-degree ruler. It needs to have either markings of 60-degree or I'm going to be using a 60-degree triangle. So, but it still should be super easy. Hello. Hello, everybody. All right, so exciting news. Do y'all want to see a surprise? Y'all want to see a surprise? I know y'all do. I know. That's a rhetorical question because, of course, I know that y'all want to see a surprise. So let's check it out. Okay, I did a thing, and yesterday. Oh, you can't see. There we go. Look at us. I should probably scoot over a little bit. We have a new machine. I have a new machine. So many of y'all were like basically yelling at me last weekend when we were sewing, and I mentioned that I saw this Singer, 301A for sale at a kind of not a thrift store, but like what is it? A consignment store? Is that what they call them? Anyways, it is a 301, not a 401, 301. And so I went and yesterday I went and checked it out. I'd been talking with the seller through Facebook. I found it on Facebook Marketplace and I talked to the seller through Facebook Marketplace since last weekend. And I said, hey, would it be possible to like come look at the machine? And she's like, absolutely. So I went yesterday and I checked it out. It is in, as far as I can tell, good condition. It does have a little bit of paint, like chipping and scratching. It needs probably a new paint job. So at some point, I'm going to be looking at getting it repainted. I also am not a big fan of the beige. I'm not a big fan of the beige color. Would like to get something, get it repainted a little bit. But I just saw I didn't realize how dirty it was down there. Whew, goodness gracious, it's got some dust and dirt down there. It's an antique machine. This is from 1953, I believe. It's a 1953 301A. And yeah, it stitched really well. I didn't see any problems with it, didn't see any major issues. It sounds pretty good, probably needs some oiling, but for the most part, it sounds pretty good. So I am very excited to be the owner of this machine now. And if anybody has any recommendations for places that paint 301s, let me know. I would really like to get it painted up, like I said. And I actually inquired, there's a company that does it in Maryland. I reached out to them just to inquire how much it was going to be and how long their wait list was, because they mentioned on their website that there was a wait list. And it was going to be almost $2,000 if I wanted it a turnaround time of 2 to 3 years. I was like, holy cow. Almost $2,000 and 2 to 3 years. They said I could expedite it if I wanted it for sure in 2024. Then I could add another $1,000 onto that. So $3,000 if I wanted it done for sure in 2024, or if I wanted to wait the 2 to 3 years, it's almost $2,000. I don't think I'll be doing that anytime soon, but I am looking. I would really love to find somebody here in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, so that way I don't have to ship it, because this is a heavy machine. It is aluminum, so it is a little bit lighter, but it is still pretty heavy, and shipping it could be a lot. So yeah, but she's mine. I haven't found a name for her yet. I'm hoping that in time a name will come forth and she will have her designation, and now I'll have Sylvia and then this one, and I'm kind of getting bit by that vintage bug a little bit, so very excited about it. Can't wait to start sewing with her, but want to make sure that she gets the TLC that she deserves. I already replaced the bobbin winder. The rubber wheel needed to be replaced, so I did replace that. Amazon actually delivered super fast. I ordered it yesterday, it came today, it was great. So I replaced that. She needs new feet, and she also needs a new pedal, because the pedal cord is starting to fray, so I want to make sure to get that. Quilter's Connection, I'll have to check that out. Auntie L, thank you for that suggestion. I'll check that out and see if they might have somebody. But yeah, so there's the new machine. I'm going to set that over there. And speaking of Sylvia, y'all remember last week I worked with Sylvia and was sewing on some quilt blocks, and then she started to throw a fit. And I ended the live kind of in like a cliffhanger because she was throwing a fit and I couldn't figure out how to fix her. And I actually needed to I had a commitment to get to, and I kind of needed to end the live and not have a resolution. So I did come back after I was at my commitment. I came back and I rethreaded Sylvia, and she worked perfectly again. Like nothing had happened. So she just needed a nap. She just needed a nap. That's all she needed. So I don't know what happened, but she just needed a nap. She started working perfectly. I restitched that last block and everything was fine. She just needed a nap. That's what it was. So, Mona says, what about Stagecoach machines? Not sure if they paint. I'll check into them. Thank you. Let's see. Joan says, Ian or anybody, have you used tearaway quilting design? The stand is right in the middle of my screen, so if you see me like shifting back and forth, that's why. Quilting designs for sewing machines, what can you say about it? I have not used it. I don't have any suggestions on that, but hopefully somebody here in my chat or later on in the comments, hopefully they'll give you some information. Rochelle with 3 L's is here. How are you? I'm doing well, thank you. Oh, thank you, Amy. I'll see you on the replay. Hello from the future, Amy. Or the past. Hello, future Amy from past Ian when you watch the replay. Constance says, I watched it last night and felt so bad. She just needed a nap. She just needed a nap. Sometimes we all need that, right? Sylvia, right? Sylvia needed a nap. All right, so we're how many minutes into this? And we're 16 minutes into this and I haven't even started my project yet. So maybe we should start doing that. All right, so Lori Holt's hubby painted hers. Good to know. So if you didn't check it out, I opened the Open Gates, excuse me, I keep saying gates, plural. It's Open Gate Quilts, Halloween Boo Box is the name of it. If you didn't check that video out, go back and check that video out because it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun video. The intro was short, but it was really fun to kind of concept that and bring that to life. It was a lot of fun. But in that, there were 4 projects to work on, and I have already created one of them. I have created the candy bag that was in the trick-or-treat bag. What is it officially? It's the candy tote, excuse me. The official name is the candy tote. And I worked on that, not on a live stream, just on my own, which was good because I ended up messing stuff up and I had to seam rip. So it took me way longer than it should have. But with the mini charm squares that were included in the Halloween Boo Box, I made the candy tote, which is super fun. And I love it because this material has bats and spiders on it. So you can see that there. And then the little vintage kind of Halloween looks super cute. So love it. Amy says, love your t-shirt. Thank you. Heading to Walt Disney World in October. Can't wait for the Halloween party. I love Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween party. I wish I could go. I also want to go to the California Adventure. What is that? Boo Bash? No. I can't remember the name of it, but I want to go. Yeah. All right. So, made the candy tote. Today, we're going to be working on the second project. Let me see if I can throw this somewhere. Oh, no. I'm going to hang this up over here. Let's do that. Let's hang. Can you still see that in frame? Yeah, there you go. See? It's still in frame. It is super, it's a cute tote. It is a cute little tote, perfect for trick-or-treating. Today, I'm gonna be working on the candy table runner. This table runner is gonna be 10.5 by 20.5 inches. I can't hold up the instructions because it has measurements and I don't want to give that away. Obviously, that's not something that I'm allowed to give away. These are from Monique, so I wanna make sure that I'm doing the thing correctly. So, we will be putting the things together. I just won't be able to tell you the measurements that I'm working with. I'm just gonna be putting it together and reading off the instructions like that. So there you go. Donnell says, hello everyone. Sorry I'm late. I've been busy figuring out how to get my industrial sewing machine with a table in my sewing room. Had to downgrade and reorganize. Ooh, goodness gracious. Jackie says, check out Rob Appel with Stitch in Heaven, East Texas. He did a machine for the quilting marine. Not sure what he did for him. I'll have to check that out. Thank you. Mona says, when I was a kid, we used to use pillowcases. The candy was bigger back then. Yes, absolutely. Yeah, I remember, did I ever take, I'm trying to remember if I ever took a pillowcase as my candy container. I think it was always like the orange pumpkin, that orange pumpkin that was like synonymous with Halloween. I think I always carried that. Or maybe like, I think one year I had one of those Happy Meal buckets from McDonald's. I can't remember. All right, so I have gone ahead and cut everything already. And now I'm gonna be putting it all together. We're gonna be using the second mini charm squares from the Halloween Boo Box. That is actually my binding. We are not gonna be finishing the project today. We are probably only gonna get through the table runner top today. I doubt we'll have time to do all the rest of it. I'll probably do that off camera at some point during the month. But we're going to be using the Spellbound by Sweetfire Road material as our thing for as the charm squares for today's project. So the first step is to lay out 32 mini charm squares and our 24, did I get it? Oh, I got one piece in, not both. And then our little sashing pieces. So I have already pre-cut everything. I have my sashing pieces. First step is to pick our 32 mini charms to go into it. Katrina says, my kids used the Happy Meal buckets for years. I did, yeah, I think I used them 1 year. I don't remember exactly how many years I used them, but I definitely used them for a little bit. I was also mad because 1 year my mom took me to the mall to go trick-or-treating because they had trick-or-treating at the mall, and she left our front porch light on, but when we got back to the house, all of my Halloween decorations that I had put up had either been stolen, trashed, or something like stolen or trashed, basically. And so I had 3 of the 4 Halloween buckets from McDonald's, and one of them was gone. One of them, or 2 of them had like missing tops. It was a whole thing. It made me really sad because I loved those buckets. I loved those buckets a lot, and they were trashed, and it made me really sad. Nowadays, I'm like, I really wish I had them now because they're basically collector's items. All right, so what I'm doing is I'm just laying these out. I want to pick, I know I'm not going to be using all of these squares, so I'm just going to lay these out and see which of these squares I want to use. I cut myself. How did I cut myself? In this design, because there are some designs in here that I'm not thrilled about, like this line. I'm not really thrilled about that, so I probably won't use that one. Rob Appel did one for himself as well. That's good to know. I'll have to go check out his channel and see. I'm subscribed to his channel. I have to go back in his archives and see if he talks about it. I was talking with Tiffany about it, and she's like, shoot, for $3,000, you could fly out here and we'll both take it apart and you can make videos about it, and we'll get the automotive paint and do it ourselves. And I was like, I mean, it's cheaper than probably flying to go make it. Or cheaper, it's probably cheaper to fly and go do that than just, you know, I don't know. Anyways. Should I have probably done this earlier? Maybe. Maybe. Ooh, this has a... I might be using both of these because there is a crystal ball on there. Look at that. That's pretty cool. Mona says, when my son was little, we had a birthday at McDonald's. Everyone got a pumpkin Happy Meals. The kids loved it. Back then, Ronald would bring in a cake. So it's strange that you mentioned that, because I have seen on TikTok that you can actually order. You have to do it in advance. You can't just walk up. Some stores have it on hand, but most don't. And you have to do it in advance with the manager of the store, but you can actually order a McDonald's cake you can just order one. You don't have to like have a birthday or anything. You can just order one. So I was like, what? I never had my birthday at McDonald's, so I feel like looking at it, it feels like there's a core memory somewhere in there that's like not unlocked. I don't know. I feel like I have had that cake before, because I know one of my friends in elementary school, I had a birthday they had their birthday at McDonald's, and I feel like I remember that, but I don't know for sure. This is the fun part. It's almost like watching paint dry, because I'm laying out the fabrics. Ooh, I don't have enough room. Well, no, I do. I think I'm gonna have enough room. It might be kind of close. Beginner question, is it okay if the sashing is made from a bunch of leftover fabrics instead of width of fabric strips? And is it okay if the only one of the strips is sewn that way? I don't see why not. That's the good thing about sewing and quilting is like there's no official rules. There are no rules. Use what you want to use. Use what's in your stash. Do what you want to do and make it your own. I always tell people, you know, make your projects your own, and I think that's very important to do that. Lily, do what makes you happy. There are several times that I have been like, no, I don't want to do it that way. I want to do it this way, you know? And especially if you're doing it out of leftover fabric and like you may not have width of fabric from selvage to selvage, use what you have. Absolutely. Okay, so I definitely want these in there. So we're gonna do, so it's 4 by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 4 by 8. So we're gonna go boop, 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 and one more. This one. We'll go this one. Boop. Ooh, I almost knocked everything over. All right, so I've got my 4. My first row is set up. I'm gonna put that one, I want that lower. Hi, Debbie, welcome. Hope you're having a good day. Let's do this one. Don't want to do that. Let's do this one. Boo, 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 boo. Let's do this one. Of course, Lily, you're welcome. And it's all good. Sorry, I had another thought and just gone. All right. Let's do this one. Yeah. Yep. All right. So there we go. There's 2. This is the fun part of laying everything out and making it all work the way I want. Margaret says, hello, love the quilt on the wall. Love Halloween. Thank you very much. I love Halloween as well. It is my favorite time of year for sure. Let's do a black one. Yeah, let's put the black there. Or do I want to do this? No, I like that. I like that there. I like that there. I like, it's hard to organically randomize the things, right? It's hard to organically create the organicness of the creation process. No, don't want to do that. Don't want to do that. Let's do this one. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. I said I wasn't going to use those stripes, but I kind of like how that looks. So we're going to keep it. We're going to keep that. Yep, I like that. We're going to keep that. All right, next row. Do that. No, that one. Yeah, that looks better. This one has a, let's do the white over here. And then let's do this here. And thankfully, like, no matter what I do with this, it's gonna look good. So I don't have to freak out too much about it, but it's like one of those where you really want it to be perfect, and then you are, yeah, it's hard. All right, so there's, how many am I supposed to do? 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 8. Okay, so I literally have half done. All right, 4 more to go. No worries. No worries, Laura Lynn. You do what you need to do. You do you, boo. All right, so we're going to go here. And then we're going to go kind of what, yeah. Sarah says if you alternate the light and the darks, you would have a cool checkerboard effect. That is very true. Some of them were weird though, because some of them, like this orange, is kind of light, but it's kind of dark as well. So it's kind of hard to figure out, like, you got to play with that tone a little bit. If I do, I kind of like that. So we'll do that, and then the last one, what am I going to do for the last one? Do I want it the white? No, I want this one. Yeah, that looks better. I like it. Kathy says, looks great, thank you. So Terry says, hi Ian, just jumping in for a bit. Projects. Ian, look through your phone camera black and white so you can read the contrast better. That's a very good tip. If you need help working on contrast, you shift the phones, you shift all the saturation out and look specifically at the tone. And it really, really helps a lot to do that. Which one am I going to do there? I like that. like that. One of these. Yeah, I like that. Yep, I have a new vintage machine. Yeah, I like that. That works. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, I have 2 more rows. Uh-oh. I don't have any more room for them. Lily says, Ian, working on a quilt for a kid who's 6 feet tall. I'm 6'2", so right there with you. Quilt's supposed to finish at 91 inches. I'm wondering if that is enough or I should make it longer. 94, yes. So 94 inches is a good height. When I do the Cotton Cuts Puzzle Mystery Quilts, they come out to be 72 by 72, and I add another border to make them 80, I think it's like 84 by 84. So yes, 94 would be a very good length, at least in my opinion, for that type of thing. Absolutely, I would say yes. I didn't realize that y'all couldn't see as I was doing all that. My apologies. My apologies. All right, I'm scooting these up literally onto my computer because it's, I don't have enough room for all of it, but that's all right. Just hope that I don't push any buttons and suddenly turn off the live stream. All right. Push those up. All right, so we need 2 more rows. And so I'm going to throw, I love this fabric, so I'm gonna, even though I've put that on the row above, or no, I'm gonna put that one down, I think. Yeah, I'm gonna put that one below. I haven't done this black one yet, so I need to throw that in there. This on there. Yeah, that looks good. And then put this here. Okay, I'm happy with that. And then I have to do this row, and so I'm going to put this here. And then I'm going to go for this here. Okay, that works. I'm happy with that. Oh, that puts 2 right next to each other, so we'll go with the darker one here. I need 1 more. Which one am I going to throw in that spot? I didn't use this one at all. Okay, there we go. All right, so there we go. I have picked, wasn't that fun to watch paint dry? I have picked all of the ones that I'm gonna be using for my, for the rows. So now what I'm gonna do, and I've used every single one of them at least once. I have some leftover squares, and I had some leftover squares from the previous candy tote that I can use for a future project, maybe making like coasters or something with all of those. So now what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to take all of my rows and I'm going to be joining them with some, with some sashing. Again, I can't give sizes because this is not my pattern and that is not something that is allowed. So I'm going to just sew all of these together using the sashing. And we'll do the sewing. We will do the sewing. Sew all these together. Now here's a question. Do I sew so for some of these fabrics, they are, in my opinion, directional. Do I sew the directional fabric so that if it's a table runner, do I sew it so that it goes with how wide it is, or do I go with how tall it is? Does that make sense? What do y'all think? What's your opinion? Some of these are non-directional, so it doesn't matter which way they go. But a couple of these feel like they need to go in a certain direction. Hey, John, welcome. Good to see you. I almost did that wrong. John says, hi, Ian. Just got out Bernina out of storage. I will be sewing soon, too. That's awesome, John. It's really good to see you. So glad that you popped in. John, you missed it. I just purchased a vintage machine yesterday. So excited about that. Mona says, I don't think it matters on a table runner, in my opinion. I'm glad, because I mean, it doesn't really matter either, in my opinion, but I'm curious if other people think differently. Whoa, what happened here? That's weird. Huh, that was weird. It somehow like sucked up the fabric before it. I don't know. Oh, you'll have to send pictures. I got my CNC machine out of storage as well. Ooh, very nice. I keep wanting to try and sew these blocks to each other, and I forget the sashing in between. Not yet. Oh my gosh, I watched Good Omens yesterday. So yesterday I did like a marathon sewing day. It literally took me 6 hours. I'm not even joking. It was literally 6 hours to do one Legit Kits block. I'm working on Margot the Boxer, as many of you know, and that one block was part of Margot's eye, one of the eyes, and it took me 6 hours to work on it. Oh my gosh, it was a lot. It was a lot. John says, what foot do you use to sew the squares together? I am currently using my 97D foot. This is a piecing foot. I like to use this one for piecing, obviously, because it gives me that 1/4 inch pretty nicely. So I'll typically use the 97D for piecing like this. Especially when I'm doing a Cotton Cuts puzzle mystery quilt, definitely use it on that. Really helps to get almost the perfect stitch seam allowance. Katrina says paper piecing can be time consuming. It was very time consuming. It took me so long. I literally watched more than half the season of Good Omens while paper piecing. Which, by the way, can we talk about how good this season of Good Omens was? So good. So good. But there better be a season 3 in the works, because I'm going to need some answers. Brenda says, hi, happy holiday weekend. Hello, happy holiday weekend to you as well. I also watched the latest episode of Foundation. Does anybody watch on Apple TV Plus? Does anybody else watch Foundation? So good. So good. So good. I love that show. I am very worried it's going to get canceled, because all the shows that I love tend to get canceled. And so I'm hoping that it does not. But I Love that show. And this week's episode was, it was like a fire at the circus. It was intense. There was so many I can't say that word. Revolutions. Why does that word sound wrong? They revealed a lot. They revealed a lot this week, and it was just amazing. So good. And if you're watching Foundation, you also need to listen to the companion podcast. After each episode, they talk about it, and it has given me a lot of context as well. So if you watch Foundation, listen to the companion podcast, but only after you've watched the episode. Spoilers! Big time spoilers. Revelations. Thank you. That's the word I was trying to say. Revelations. That was the word I was looking for. You're welcome. Thank you, Mary Jane. Appreciate that. I was like, that's not the right word. I know there's a word, but I can't figure out what that word is. John said it as well. Thank you, John. It's so hard to keep up with chat and sew at the same time. Because I'm trying, obviously, not to stab myself with the sewing machine. Ooh, somebody just gave me a happy face or something. Just saw it go by. How many of you ordered the Halloween Boo box from Open Gate Quilts? Did anybody order it? This is the first time that I got one. And full transparency, Monique reached out to me and asked if she could send me one, and I said yes, of course. So full transparency, I did not buy it. It was given to me by Monique, who wanted me to open it for a video. But it's kind of a cool box. Kind of a lot of fun stuff in it. John says, yeah, hosting, running, and co-hosting can be a lot for one person. It is a lot. If you are unfamiliar, John is a part of the Art Sherpa YouTube channel. His name is John Cooney. He is the husband of Cinnamon Cooney. And they are a wonderful beginner acrylic painting lessons. They do a wonderful job on their YouTube channel. Go check them out. Go give them love. They are amazing. And they have been friends of mine for a long time now, and I could not ask for better friends. They are amazing. Woo, slow down, Ian. What's going on here? That's weird. Skipped a stitch. Let me resew that one really quick because it missed a stitch. Glad I checked that. Donna's here. Hello, Donna. Donna Sweetman said yes, and I love it. I'm working on the Boo and Bats wall hanging. I'll be doing the table runner next. Excellent. Donna, handmade by Ying, says, slipping in fast. Ball game Sunday for my grands, but wanted to wish you all a fabulous Labor Day weekend. Thank you. What is happening? You're giving me some weird noises. What is going on? Looks like all the stitches came in that time. I'm going to take a second to stop really quick. Don't you start giving me problems. Do a real quick stitch test. Zandra is here. Hello. Rochelle asked, what are you planning on dressing up for as Halloween? I don't know, to be honest. I'm not exactly sure what I'm going to do for Halloween this year. One thing is my needle, my thread wrapped around my needle. I wonder if that's part of my problem. So let me just do a quick little fixaroo. Yeah, I'm not sure what I'm going to dress up for this year. Oh, that probably was the problem. I bet you that was the problem. Yep, she's sewing good now. All right. It just, apparently the thread wrapped around the needle. So it was acting a little funny. Okay, so that's 4. That's my next one. Put that there. We'll move on to our next one. Amy says, I love the Art Sherpa's channel. She and John are amazing. And I feel super lucky that I've had the chance, first of all, to be friends with them because they're amazing. Second of all, that I've had the chance to paint with Cinnamon on her channel. Like, she's just incredible with the artwork that she does. So I just feel super, super lucky all the way around. Donna says, thank you. It was a blast. It looked like a lot of fun, Donna. I was lurking. I was watching and lurking. Watching y'all put together those different threads. Different types of threads. Guys, I woke up this morning to thunder. Was not expecting thunder, and although it did not rain heavily, we mostly got sprinkles. It was kind of nice to hear thunder again. Because we've not had rain here in a very long time, and although it was not long-lived and there wasn't a lot to it, it was nice to at least have it for a little bit. I keep hearing noises at the door because I have a door that goes out to my patio right here. And the other day, a bird was like, I heard a noise and I looked up and there was a bird that was like flying at my door. I was like, what is going on? It didn't fly into the door, but like it may have seen its reflection and so like it fluttered up against the door. It was weird. Rochelle says, going to be over. What's going to be over? Tiffany's here to say hello. Hello, Tiffany. She's going to go take her nap before she goes live later today. Tiffany, what are you making on your channel today? If I caught you before you went to go take your nap. Yesterday morning at 5 a.m., I woke up to thunder and we had a 30-minute lightning show. That sounds kind of nice. If it's just thunder, I'm okay with it. If it's just thunder and lightning, that's fine. It's when it gets to be more than that I'm like, ooh. If there's like tornadoes and stuff, that's when I freak out. Although the lightning has been hitting pretty close to this apartment complex for a while. I'm always like, oh, geez Louise. Did I mean to do that? Probably. We're just gonna leave it, it's fine. I put two white-ish squares next to each other. Could I flip it around? Will I mess it all up if I do that? No, I don't think so. I'm gonna flip it around. That's what happens, going on the flow. Rochelle says it's gonna be in the hundreds all week. Yeah, same here. The spring, there was a baby bird tapping at my sliding glass door. Mama was sitting on the table watching. Gabby, my Maltese, was very curious. I bet so. Ah! What was that noise? I just stubbed my toe on the support for the table. Don't mind me. Just, you know. Oh my gosh. Guys, this week I was at work. We had a all staff meeting, all team meeting. And I was sitting in my chair listening to the meeting, and we're asked to have our cameras on for that meeting. No big deal. And so I was fidgeting with a pen, and I dropped the pen and went to lean over to pick it up, and the whole chair went over. And of course, this happens on camera, but thankfully no one noticed. Nobody noticed that it happened, so I was very grateful for that. But it is recorded on the work computer, and I'm just like, oh, great, of course. So if anybody goes back, they may end up seeing it. And I'm like, please, nobody see it. I have thread, stop it. Sometimes I guess the tension isn't there, and so sometimes my Bernina will tell me that I'm out of top thread, and I'm like, no, I have top thread, stop it. And the only way to fix it is you have to rethread the machine. It drives me bonkers sometimes. But it's all right. Oops. There we go. I see a whole bunch of chats coming through. Auntie L says we're under a flash flood warning pretty much all day yesterday. Goodness gracious. Tiffany says today playing with scraps, mainly cutting, doing some sewing here and there. I'm too tired to do anything else. Hoping the nap will help, but scrappy day for live. Excellent. Liz is here. Hello. John says you could have a balloon pop randomly behind you. Auntie L says, Ian, do we have to bubble wrap you to keep you safe? Maybe. That's not the first time somebody has said that to me, and it's kind of meant it seriously, so kinda. Amy says, I'm glad you're okay. Liz says, love the quilt behind you, thank you. S. Taylor says, LOL, Ian. I know, it's bad. It's bad. I sent a message to my boss that was like, you probably shouldn't go back and look at the team meeting at this specific timestamp. And a few minutes later, he comes back and he's like, first of all, are you okay? And I'm like, yes, I'm fine. He's like, second of all, that's hilarious. I'm like, yeah, well. All right, Tiffany's going off to going off chat to take her nap. Yes, Lily again. It happened again. Just I'm telling you. Guess I should start putting seatbelts on my chairs. Guess I just need to start putting seatbelts on my chairs. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? All right, let's do the next row. Rochelle with 3 L's says, seeing a lot more YouTube commercials lately. That is correct. You unfortunately are seeing a lot more commercials. I think at one point YouTube semi-recently said that they were going to be putting on more commercials during videos. So, yep. Hey. It helps support me, so I'm not going to complain too much. I know it can be frustrating, especially when YouTube does the like non-skippable commercials. To me, that's a little bit of a pain. But it does support the content creators who are making those videos. So it's a trade-off. It is a trade-off. Boop, 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 boop. Which way do I want this to go? That way. There we go. All right. I forgot to mention that I also ordered for my Singer 301, I also ordered an LED light bulb for it because it still has, I think, maybe the original light bulb in it. So Liz says, I just replaced the casters on my sewing chair with ones that look like rollerblades. I need to have a seatbelt. Hey, guess what, Liz? That's what my chair has. I have the rollerblade wheels on this chair, and I love them. I love them a lot. Because my whole apartment, with the exception of the bedroom, is laminate. And so I can like wheel from one side to the other very easily. Susan says, I don't get any during your live stream here in the UK, just when I switch it on. I don't pay to have none. First of all, thank you for watching from the UK, Susan. Appreciate it. And it just depends on your region. A lot of things on YouTube are region based. So, because obviously the commercials here in the United States don't make sense for you, because obviously you don't have AT&T in your country. So, I think they really tailor them to the country that you are in. Just a guess, though. There's been a couple of times, though, I've gotten like commercials from other states, and I'm like, that's weird. I'm not in that state. Why are you showing me this when I'm not in that state? It is also funny to see, like, when I do travel to another state, see the commercials that pop up for me from that state. Ah! I don't know what I'm doing. It's fine. Oh, so there was a news report about the State Fair of Texas yesterday. And they went into the arts and crafts building at the State Fair. And I was like, ooh, show my quilt, show my quilt. It didn't happen. I was like, boo. But I was like, dang, I kept like looking through everything to see if I could see my quilt already on display. But it wasn't there yet. As Taylor says, I keep getting ones from Craftsy. That's funny because I have not gotten a Craftsy one in years. Literal years. I don't know what's happening. You're welcome. I've only been live for an hour and I'm already losing my mind. That's what's happening. I'm convinced they do it on purpose so that people like me get frustrated and folks fork over for the subscription. Yeah. I can't say that I feel like you're very wrong on that. Rochelle says, I don't pay enough attention to them to remember them. So there's one. So in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, we have a thing called the toll tag, and it gets you onto the toll roads for less. You don't have to pay as much money to take the toll roads. And they use puppets. They are literal puppets. And they're some of the dumbest commercials that I've seen. I'm just like, seriously? Really? Okay, sure. But they're so dumb because one of them is like supposed to be like a telenovela. So it's like, you should have bought a toll tag because then she's worth it and blah, blah, blah. And it's just like, what? Susan says, it makes me smile when I see that my hubby has fabric fat quarter bundle highlighted in its, when my hubby has fabric fat quarter bundle highlighted in his feed, eyes everywhere watching us. Yeah, it's like that effect of like, you say something and it shows up on Amazon and you're like, I definitely have not searched for that, but it's showing up in my feed. What? Or like when I'm watching one-off videos where I'm like, okay, so an example is like today I watched a video because I'm a curious person. I want to know how things work. And so today I wanted to know how a septic tank works. And so I went onto YouTube and was like, how does a septic tank work? And now I'm wondering like what kind of videos I'm going to get served after the algorithm thinks, oh, he watched one on a septic tank. He must want to know more about blank. Hi, Ian. Judy says, sneaking a peek while I'm supposed to be working. Shh, I won't tell anyone. Shh, it's fine. You're fine. It's fine. It's fine. Sneaking a peek. I don't know which part you were laughing at, Rochelle, because I think I just said several funny things. I don't know if you were laughing at the septic tank or the it's fine, or what you were laughing at, but I'm glad you found whatever it was funny. John says, kids need me, talk to you later, have a car interior to quilt. Ooh, fun. Have fun, John. Thanks for stopping by. Rochelle says, you live in an apartment. Yes, I do. I do live in an apartment. I do. All right, so that was my last one. Ah, gotcha. She's laughing at the septic tank. I wanted to know how they worked. I was curious. I didn't realize that you had to get them pumped. I thought that all of the stuff in them biodegraded and it like went out. That was not the case. Hi, Katina. All right, so now that I have all of those, I'm gonna let the iron heat up, and I'm actually gonna grab some more water. So excuse me for just a moment while I grab a little more water. Keep my throat from getting dry. Always on Sundays, I tend to be like my throat gets a little drier because I'm usually chatting with everybody all day. And since I don't have somebody here with me to chat with, it makes it a little harder because I have to do all the talking. All right, so my iron is warming up, and now we're going to go ahead and press all these. Lay the squares out. Solid piece, and I didn't use solid black. I used a grunge black. I don't even know if it shows up on camera that it has some texture to it. Yep, sure does. So there's some texture, a little bit of texture to it. And now we're going to sew these together, or we're going to iron them, and then we're going to put the sew the rows together. And the solid by rectangles. Okay. So we're gonna sew these together using the by rectangles. Pat, hey Pat, welcome. Pat says, oops, almost missed the live. Hey Ian and all. Hello Pat, good to see you. Gosh darn it. Gosh darn it. Come on, work with me. I was like, no, I do not want to lay down that way. Katina says, I love the wall. I love the quilt on the wall behind you. In my monitor, it looks like it has metallics. I don't think, I thought there was one that did. But I don't think so. No. Oh, yeah, actually, the reddish orange one does, but this is the only one that does. All the rest do not. All the rest are just normal batiks. It's all batik fabric. Hot. That's hot. Let's see here. Okay. Katina, excuse me, also says, I have the Boo Box 2. Hope to work on parts of it soon. I hope you do as well. It's a good box. I really like it. Rochelle says, I bet it helps Tiffany having Scott answer the questions in the chat verbally. Yes, it does. It really, really does. The people that you see on YouTube that have a partner team, it really does help extremely to have another person there so that you can do what you're doing and they can answer questions. Super helpful. Doing it all on your lonesome takes a little bit of skill. S. Taylor asked, what am I working on today? I am working on the candy table runner from the Halloween Boo Box from Open Gate Quilts. It had several projects in it. It's got the candy bag. You can see the well, you can kind of see the candy bag behind the chair there. That's the candy tote. That was one of the projects that was included in that box. And today I am working on creating the top. It's not going to be finished, but I'm creating the top for the table runner. We're definitely not going to finish it today, but we are going to get the top finished today. Chow, that's hot. Katrina says we had a septic tank as well. The inspector, when we sold the house, had to list things to fix. We fixed the easiest, having a plumber pour chlorine into the well. Hello from ND. Hello, welcome, Shelly. Welcome indeed. Glad you're here. Ow. Hot, 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 hot. Hot, 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 hot. Which then had to be flushed out, so all the faucets in the house had to be run full blast for a period of time, which put all of the chlorine into the septic tank. Ooh. The neighbors told us it wasn't long before the new owners had septic tank troubles. Oopsies. That's not good. I have not lived in a house or facility that had a septic tank, and I'm kind of happy about that because I hear that they sometimes give you some pretty bad troubles. But I didn't know how they worked, so I wanted to go online and be like, oh, that's how that works. Because again, I thought everything just like biodegraded, and the point of the septic tank was to allow the time for it to biodegrade. I didn't realize that you had to empty them. And I learned today that you're supposed to do it every 3 years. You're supposed to have it emptied every 3 years. The things you learn on YouTube. Okay. There we go. All right. So now we're going to put all the rows together using the strips. Again, not giving you sizes because it is a pattern and I am not able to give you that information. Yeah, you don't want to kill the bacteria in there. Isn't that wild? It's wild to me. It is wild. I had no idea. You definitely want that bacteria in there to help break things down. And then they were talking about, like, obviously there are going to be gases during that process, and it's interesting to me because the gases go back into the house and get vented out of the ceiling vents, or out of the roof vents. It's weird. It's crazy. Crazy. You're so crazy. The whole process of it is very crazy. You're so crazy. You're a crazy girl. Oh, that strip was a little short, and this one's a little long. I don't know. Sun's really coming out now, which I'm going to be honest, I'm not terribly thrilled about because that means it's just going to get hotter. Blah. Blah. Keep looking up and seeing Katrina's comment. You don't want to kill the bacteria. Nope. You do not. Very important. Very, very important. The well was in the backyard and the septic tank was on the side. The drain field was in the front yard. The other crazy part is like the drain field, where it all goes, and like the vegetation that grows around it. Glad I don't have to deal with any those anymore. I don't blame you. I do not blame you after seeing what all goes into that. Like, oof. My friend at his house, he had a septic tank. At one of the houses he lived at, he had a septic tank, and there were like these. Because I was like trying to figure it out, and he's telling me about it, and he like said, do you see those yellow, they were yellow plants that were growing a good distance away from the house, like pretty far away. I was like, yeah, what about them? He's like, that's where the septic tank field is at. And I was like, wait, what? And he's like, yeah, they're like pipes and those plants are getting the water from it. And I was like, oh, how interesting. And they were specifically right where that pipe would be. So it's very interesting. Very interesting how the fauna found that very specific pots. Rochelle says it's supposed to be 107 here on the other side of the Red River on Thursday. I bet it feels hotter than that today. With the humidity that we probably have at the moment, I have literally not stepped foot outside yet, so I have no idea what it feels like outside. I don't plan on stepping outside today, so. Rochelle, remind me again, obviously, I think you're in Oklahoma, yes? Because if you're on the other side of the Red River, that puts you in Oklahoma, if I remember correctly. I have thread, be quiet. Stop it. It's yelling at me that I don't have any more top thread, and I'm like, yes I do. Stop. I don't know why it does this sometimes, and it will yell at me until I rethread the machine, and I'm like, but you have thread. I wish there was a way to tell it like, no, everything's okay. I have thread. It's all good. You don't have to stop me every inch and tell me that it's out of thread. It's good. It's good. You're good. Because now I have to rethread. Ever eat at the Riata? I have not. Duncan, Oklahoma. Got it. Okay. Stop that. Don't tell Becca. Oh, wait. I bet she's watching now. What am I not telling her? WFAA says it's supposed to be 99 degrees in Dallas-Fort Worth. I believe that. My watch says 97, but I believe either of those could be correct. Oops. That's a cold front right now. Yeah, no kidding. 99 is definitely better than 110. Shelly says, we have a septic tank system. It's just there quietly doing its job, minding its own business. Absolutely. That's when it's best, until it doesn't. Susan says, we managed 78 today. Excuse me, that's the first time for weeks. This is our summer, and we really haven't had much sunshine since June. Appreciate the difficulties with the very hot, but it's nice to have some warm weather for once. I totally understand that. I was just talking with Peggy from So On and So North, and, you know, she was like, oh, it's so hot. It's, you know, she was saying, oh, it's 74 in the house. That's so hot. And, like, I can't... At night, the lowest I can keep my apartment is really 74. Like, that's pretty much as low as the temperature will go in my apartment. And, you know, she's like, you Texas people probably laughing at me. I'm like, no, y'all aren't equipped for that. Like, you're used to much cooler weather than here in Texas. So, no, I'm not going to make fun of y'all for saying 74, you know, is too hot to sleep, because... y'all are used to cooler temperatures, so I'm not mad about that, and I'm not gonna make fun of you for that. Shelly says 95 and ND today. Ugh. Yep. Yup. Yep. Ugh is right. All right, so I'm gonna put the last strip on, and then I'll start sewing all of my rows together. To be honest, I thought I was going to be done with this project in like 5 minutes, and I was going to be like, well, what else am I going to do on the live today? But I think this is going to turn out to be just the right timing for today. And then after the live is over with, I'm going to work some more on Margot, but hopefully it doesn't take me 6 hours. Rochelle says, I sleep at 68. I wish I could turn it down to that low. I don't even turn on the AC until it gets to be 80 degrees in my house. Auntie L, I typically, so I will sleep with it set at 74, but during the day, I literally turn my AC off. Because I want to save money, and I can usually handle it okay with just fans. So probably in the apartment right now, it's like 75, 76. It usually will get up to, when we like have 110, my apartment got up to 78, 79, and I did okay with that. It wasn't like horrible. It wasn't great, but it wasn't horrible. And I could deal with it, so yeah. Pat says it's currently 82, feels like 93 in Ontario, about 3 hours north of Toronto. Muskoka? I don't know if I'm saying that correct. Sorry, another newbie question. Does it make a difference if I attach a top and bottom border before I sew the rows together? If you, no, I don't think so, because it's going to be the same size as your rows, so I don't think that. Anybody else have an opinion on that one? I don't think it is. As long as it's the same length as your row, it shouldn't have that big of a deal. If it's longer, then yes, obviously you'll not want to do it. But if it's the same length as your row, then I don't see a problem with that. Some people prefer to do like the side rows and have the top and bottom rows be the longer. Like, does that make sense? But it's really personal preference. Auntie L says, I sleep with the AC at 72. Yeah, I tried to set mine to 72 last year, and it just couldn't keep up with that. Spent like almost $200 on electricity because I could, like, it would just run pretty much all night. Muskoka. Muskoka. Got it. My apologies for mispronouncing that. I try to be very mindful of that because, you know, indigenous names and such, it's important to absolutely try to be correct on all of that. Katrina says, I usually do the side borders first and then the top and bottom last. Yeah, that's usually how I create mine, is usually side borders first, then top and bottom. But there's no rule that says that you can't do top and bottom and then sides. There is no official rule. Yes, you got it. No apologies necessary. I appreciate that. All right, so now we're going to sew these rows together. There we go. The eyes/ears are real. An advert for Parjog rugs. First time ever for an ad. That's funny, Susan. Let's see here. Yeah, that'll line up. Just double checking to make sure that everything lines up, and it does. Ooh, that was fun. Rochelle asked, do you have a post office box? I do not. I do not. I used to have a post office box, like when I first started my channel 8 or however many years ago that was. But I was just keeping it and I wasn't even getting mail to it, so I got rid of it. It was like, it's like $100 to get a post office box. So no, I don't have a post office box anymore. If you want to get something to me, send me a message and we can talk about what options are available. Pat says, my house rarely gets above 68, 70, even in the hottest days. I live in a straw bale house with no AC. Oh, goodness. I mean, the straw is awesome because it helps regulate the temperature and all, but like, goodness gracious. It's crazy to me that how that works, you know? I'm checking to make sure that my what am I trying to say? So there are stripes in between each of there's the sashing. That's the word I'm looking for. There's the sashing in between each row. And I'm trying to make sure that they all line up nicely. It's not going to be exact, but I want them to at least somewhat nicely line up. And so I'm going through and like double checking that it actually does as I'm sewing these rows together. Yep, that one's perfect. Spot on. Yeah, Rochelle, it's crazy how expensive post office boxes are. They're very expensive. Shelly asked, did you get your featherweight running again? Yes, I did. She just needed a nap. Sylvia needed to take a nap. And so when she had her nap, everything was fine. It just, that's what happened. She needed a nap. So I gave her a nap and everything was good after that. Go figure. Go figure. I mean, we all need a nap sometimes, so I get it. But it was just very interesting because, like, I came back, I unthreaded, I rethreaded, I ran a piece of test fabric through, and it worked fine. I was like, I don't know why you're suddenly working again, but I'm not going to question it, so cool. Cool, 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 cool. You know, it was just one of those weird things. She throws a hissy fit, I get it. You know, I throw a hissy fit sometimes. She just needed a nap. Needed a nap. Come on, come on, come on. Work with me. Well, that one was a little wobbly. Yeah, a little wobbly. Oh well, it is what it is. "16-inch thick." Wow. That's crazy. I'm reading Pat Strawhouse's comment on that. She has 16-inch thick walls, which is crazy. I wish I had 16-inch thick walls here in the apartment sometimes. That would be a lot nicer. Did I get this lined up? Yeah, for the most part. Let's see if it'll stay lined up. That's the trick. I don't think it is. I think it's gonna be a little bit off. It's crazy how hard to get sashing, like the small sashing, like perfectly lined up. Oof, it's a lot. Let's see how badly I did. Yep, that one's off again. It's maybe like a stair-stepped table runner when it's all said and done with. Whoops. Let's flip it over, go the opposite direction. Maybe that'll help. Maybe that'll help. How did my needle become unthreaded? What in the world? What in the world? All right. You need to pin your intersections. I don't have time for pins. Pins are a 4-letter word, just like hand. Hand is a 4-letter word. Pin is a 4-letter word. It's fine. It's fine. If I really, like, super wanted to be a perfectionist, I would do that, absolutely, but it's fine. Right? Rochelle said, I just looked up the cost of a post office box here. Small one is $51 for 3 months. I need to go into a quote-unquote safe mailbox service. True story. Laura Lynn says, pins, pins. Who needs pins? Not me. I'm with you on that, Laura Lynn. I don't need pins. I don't need no stinking pins. It does make it, you know, it makes it easier to line these things up, but pins. If I can't wonder clip it, I'm not gonna do it. Not gonna do it. Like I said, if I was going for ultimate perfection, I would absolutely use pins. But this is just a table runner. Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter if it's perfect. Doesn't matter if it's crazy. Doesn't matter if it's kooky. Who cares? A finished project is always better than a perfect one. Every time. Every time. Using pens means poking fingers, abso-freaking-lutely, and that's why I don't. I have poked the snarky out of myself using pens. Like, I have really poked myself pretty badly. And so I don't use them. Do not use them. Because it's been bad sometimes. It's been bad. Accident-prone people don't like pens. It's true. It's very true. I don't like them. And honestly, like, can you tell that there is, the sashing is mismatched in places? I can't. I did just notice that I put one of these rows backwards, but oh well. Oh well, that's how it's gonna be now. That's what it's gonna be. Laura Lynn, are you and Pat close to each other? I can't remember where everybody's at. Because I know y'all are both in Canada. Pat, I really did, like so many other people, I did think that Straw House was your last name. I didn't realize that it was literal, you live in a straw house. Literally thought that was just your last name. I bet you get that all the time too. You're like, yes, Hear it all the time. Everyone thinks my last name is Strawhouse. Katina, says, it is raining in East Dallas. Oh my. Right now? Like right now? It's amazing if it's happening right now. Pat is, oh, gotcha, okay. Pat is Ontario, I'm Nova Scotia. It's about 2 days drive apart, got it. Rochelle says, I use a blunt point stylus because I poke myself too much. I get that. Totally get that. All right, let's do some pressing. I'm impressed with the pressing. You get it? I'm impressed by the pressing. Gosh, I'm a goober. All right, so, yep. Quiet time over. Can you hear me again? Let me know in the chat if you can hear me. My microphone died. My microphone died. I knew it was going to happen too. Put that right there. Get that plugged in. Quiet time. Nope. Unmute yourself. New trick. Mine? No. All right, cool. Glad. Sorry about that, guys. What I was trying to say was, during that whole time, I was saying, Laurelyn, I liked the little bugs that you were quilting into that quilt that you were doing in dedication. I think it was in dedication of your roommate that you had at the hospital. And I loved all those little bugs that you were quilting into your quilt. Everybody says that we can hear you. Thank you so much, guys. The last thing we heard was you say, "Yup." And then it all went quiet. There was no metronome this time, apparently. Do-do-do. Do-do-do. Pat says closed captioning doesn't work when the mic is off. Who knew? Right? Go figure. It's like it needs words to be able to close caption them. Huzzah! And like that, you can hear me again. Hello, Charlotte. Oh, no, that wasn't. Who said hello? Somebody said hello. Catherine. Hello. Welcome. Welcome, welcome to the silent show where I'm a mime. God, could you imagine if I like did a whole show muted and like had to pantomime all of that out? Nope. Nope, nope, we're not going there. That would be a very strange episode of the Off Kilter Crafter Live. That's what that would be. That's what that would be. A new meme for me. Yep. I love that quilt behind you. Thank you. Made this one a couple years ago. I'm going to put the link to the pattern. Once I get off live, I'll post it as the pinned comment underneath this video. So head down there. If you're watching this on the replay, it should be there by now. But give me, if you're watching this live, give me about an hour after the live for it to appear. Because it's probably going to take me a few minutes to shut down. Once I'm off live, it'll take me a few minutes to go find it and shut down all my equipment and put everything away and, you know, all that kind of stuff. All right. Your quilt behind you makes me want some candy corn. I know, me too. I love candy corn. Candy corn is so good. So good. I am a person who enjoys candy corn, so. I might need to turn the air conditioner on. It's getting warm in here. All right, we're going to put the by on the ends. Yes, okay, cool. I'm going to go grocery shopping tomorrow, and I'm hoping that, first of all, I'm hoping that the Halloween decorations are going to be out, because the past couple of times, I shop at Target for groceries and stuff, and so they haven't had their Halloween decorations out yet, so I'm hoping that they'll be out. But I'm also hoping for the Halloween candy as well. I have a couple of Halloween candies that I always go to and I always love getting. What are you making? I'm making the candy table runner. This is from the Halloween Boo Box from Open Gate Quilts. I am currently working on the table runner. I've made the candy bag that you can see hanging over there, the candy tote, and now I'm making the candy bag. Or the table runner. Katrina says they were working on, Target was getting all of theirs out this week. Good. I hope it's there tomorrow. It feels like they It feels like they are like taking forever this year. I don't know why it feels this way, but it feels like they're taking forever to get it out. Because I feel like a lot of other stores have had their Halloween up for a week or two, and Target's a little behind. Feels like. I don't know if that's the actual case, but that's what it feels like. Reading comments. A lesson in pinning. I skipped and had to jack a 72-inch seam. Oh, goodness gracious, Lily. Let's see. Me too, but went from being diabetic to not considered diabetic. So I have to, yeah, that's really important. Unfortunately, I don't think there's a way for me to get back from that. So, although I did get switched to a new medication, and I'm hoping that will help. Cross your fingers. I would love. My mom was hypoglycemic, whatever is her sugar is always low, always low. My dad had too much sugar, he was diabetic. And so I was really hoping that like genetics would work so that they would cancel each other out and I'd be normal, but we all know normal's just a setting on the dryer. So that didn't quite work, but oh well. Oh well. Pat Strawhouse says, candy corn, it's okay. We'll give you a pass, Ian. After all, we all can't be perfect. I like candy corn, it's good. Small doses, though. Small doses, not, not a lot, but I like it. I like it. It's yummy. Bonnie says, I've seen the Halloween at Hobby Lobby. Lots of cute stuff. All right, there we go. So there's our table runner top. And you see a big piece of fabric over here. This is going to be the back. And then, of course, I'm going to need some batting for this. And I don't know how I'm going to quilt this yet. I am going to quickly sew the binding together. This is the binding for it. I want to quickly, while I'm sitting here working on it, I want to sew this together real quick, just so that I have it on hand and ready to go when it is time to put the whole thing together. Just a bag or two, not a lot. I like the candied pumpkins more. Those are cute and yummy. It is very cute. I love this project. I don't have a table to put it on, but I still like it. Where's my... Put that right there, and then put that there, and we're just gonna run a straight line between those 2 points. There we go. It's so cute. I love it. I love it. Yeah, that's good. So let's trim this really quick. Where's my ruler? Where is my ruler? I have a little itty bitty ruler. I'll do it with this one. It walked away. I don't know where it went. Set that over there. That, and then we go in and I thankfully have a 1/4 inch line on this ruler or in this template, so I can just trim that real quick. Whee! Oh, half of it made it in, but that's fine. And we're gonna press this real quick. And then we're gonna call it a day, I think. Why can't I get this? Ah! open. I'm trying to open my seam and it's like, no, no, you will not find how to open this seam. All right, there we go. All right, so I've made my binding for this project. It's ready to go. I always intend to prep my binding at the beginning of a project, so it's already done when I need it. Sadly, that never happens. I feel that. I have a couple of projects that need binding, and the binding, I have the binding, the material for the binding, I just have yet to prep the binding. So since I was sitting here and looking at it, I was like, let's just go ahead and get it done, get it out of the way. I don't have a table now. It's in the basement. Had to make room for the long arm. Hey, this is my living room. You are looking at my living room. I don't have a couch. I don't have a table other than my sewing table. That's what I got. All right, so there's that. Once again, here is the candy table runner. And we're not going to quilt it today. I got to figure out what I want to quilt into it or how I want to quilt it. So I'm going to think on that, but this is it. Look how cute that is. So we have, again, these are the two smaller projects that come in the Halloween Boo Box from Open Gate Quilts. We have our candy tote and our candy table runner. And there we go. Love these projects. They're pretty cute. Pretty stinking cute. So would you purchase the Boo Box in the future? I would, actually. I am not, most of the time, like a lot of boxes and stuff that I've done are like more florals or more flowery or like projects that I just really wouldn't see myself doing. But this is a super cute little candy tote. I don't have a table, but I do like this table runner. And then the Queen's project, the Queen's quilt that is included in that Boo Box. We're gonna work on that project. I need to cut it, need to prep the fabric for it, but we're gonna be working on that. In fact, I'm thinking about sewing that one, I'm thinking about sewing that one on my featherweight, just because I wanna say that I've sewn a quilt completely on my featherweight. So, maybe I'll work on cutting the fabric for the Queen's quilt this week, and maybe we'll start working on that next week. I don't know. What do you think? Should we do that next week? I feel like we should. Katina said Halloween is my favorite holiday. It's mine too. It is my absolute favorite. She also says that she has the Boo Box as well and would definitely purchase it again. Absolutely. I honestly would. I really, really would. And I'm hoping to get the option to either, receive another one next year, or if not, I probably will purchase it next year because it's no sound. Uh-oh. Oh, okay. All right. I was like, oh gosh, don't tell me another microphone died. Okay. Whew. Worried there for a second. All right. So, yeah, I would probably do this again for sure. I would love to do this again. Get the Boo Box again next year. So, and I still have some more leftover. I have some leftover pieces. I may sew these into. Maybe I'll sew this into like a pot holder. I still have some leftover. What's that? Insulbrite. I have some leftover Insulbrite. I might sew it into a pot holder. That'd be pretty cute. Because there's enough squares here to make another project. Let's see how big, obviously seam allowances, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 8, 9, 10. So I have 10 blocks left over that I could easily do another project with. So that makes it pretty, like, yeah, that would be about the right size for a pot holder. Sorry, brain just like gone. Yeah, so I could make another project using these, and then I have the leftover ones from the candy tote. I have the leftover blocks from the candy tote as well that I could throw together. So I could definitely make another project out of them. So, yep. So, all right, guys, that's going to do it for today's live. Thank you guys for joining me today. I really do appreciate it. Thank you again to Open Gate Quilts for the Halloween Boo Box. Unfortunately, the Halloween Boo Box is sold out. You cannot purchase it. But if you're interested in purchasing her subscription boxes that she curates herself, Monique that is, definitely go check out Open Gate Quilts and find out how you can sign up for that box. They seem to be a lot of fun. Becca does those boxes, and so does Tiffany, and they have a lot of fun projects in them. So, could you get a 10 by 10 square? I could maybe. I believe I probably could get another 10 by 10 square. Absolutely. Mom and Pop, thank you. And thank you for being a channel member. Greatly appreciate your support here on my channel. It is so kind of you to be a channel member. All right, guys, I think that's going to do it for this week. I hope everybody has, if you are off tomorrow, I hope you have a wonderful, relaxing day. If you're not off tomorrow, thank you very much for working and doing what you need to do tomorrow. And I hope that you have an easy and light day. A bowl cozy. Oh, that's a good idea, Rochelle. That would be a really good idea. I'm going to sign off for today, and I will see y'all next week where I figure out what we're doing. I don't know, but we'll figure it out during the week, and we'll be back here again. Oh, shoot, I almost forgot. Don't go anywhere yet. Almost forgot. Don't forget, at the end of this month, we have the seasonal 4, Becca, Tiffany, and Teresa Louise. We are all going to be working together on a Halloween / fall themed project. And it's my turn to host it, so we'll be here on my channel. The live event is already set up. Go ahead and go over there, click the notification so that way you get notified when I go live for that video. You won't want to miss it. I'm challenging them. I'm giving them fabric, but I'm not letting them see what it is. They are going to find out what the fabric is when they open the envelopes on that live, so it's going to be a fun time, I'm sure. All right, now I'm gonna go. Have a great day, everyone. And remember, guys, normal is just a setting. I don't know why I tried to high five you. There's no one to high five. I love you. Have a great day. Remember, normal is just a setting on the dryer. Bye! Where's my mouse?